This episode is presented to you by NFL Sunday Ticket, now on YouTube and YouTube TV. With NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube and YouTube TV, you can watch your favorite teams' out-of-market Sunday games, plus watch up to 4 games at once with Multiview. Don't miss the race to the playoffs. NFL Sunday Ticket is now just $39 when bundled with YouTube TV, where you get even more football. Visit youtube.com/Spotify offer to sign up now. Lowest price on YouTube TV with base plan. Rest of 2023 season. Terms and embargoes apply. No cancellations.
'Tis the season to shine with H&M. Discover the holiday collection and find fashionable pieces for your wardrobe or for under the tree. Get inspired and dazzle with this year's glam. From tuxedo styles, bow detailed pieces, impressive prints, and more. From unforgettable looks to unforgettable gifts. With fashion finds to home decor, find it all at H&M. Treat your loved ones and yourself this season. Shop in-store or at hm.com.
The holidays are a time to feel and create joy. And what could be more joyous than the look on her face as she unwraps a stunning new jewelry piece from Blue Nile? How about getting 50% off your purchase? Blue Nile offers premium quality, priced below traditional retail. Their online experts are available 24/7 to answer any questions and make sure you've picked the perfect gift. For a limited time, you can get 50% off at BlueNile.com. That's 50% off at BlueNile.com.
Reboot your credit card with Apple Card, the credit card created by Apple. It gives you unlimited daily cash back that you can now choose to grow in a high-yield savings account that's built right into the Wallet app. Apply for Apple Card now in the Wallet app on iPhone and start growing your daily cash with savings today. Apple Card subject to credit approval. Savings is available to Apple Card owners subject to eligibility requirements. Savings accounts provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC. Terms apply.
Over there, send the word over there. And the Yanks are coming, the drums rolling everywhere. So prepare, say a prayer, send the word to beware. We'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't come back till it's over there.
Back at it again into the round of 16. That music just hits harder than it has this whole tournament after that win. It's been a few hours since the game. It's been a blur since then. It feels like the game just ended. I'm not sure what has happened since then. I think I must have blacked out somewhere. Haven't even been drinking. But gentlemen, the Yanks have defeated Iran 1-0 and are into the round of 16. We'll be facing the Netherlands on Saturday. Thad, if you are ever tingly right now,
Yes.
to be tingly, my man.
I'll give you some tingly today, man. I'll say that there's some there, man.
All right.
Send the word to beware.
And Thad even got a haircut for the event. I mean, for the occasion.
It did. It took some years off, I think. I want to start. We're going to start here with Tyler Adams, the captain. He has just been absolutely phenomenal. And I think what we found out so far in this tournament, that the decision to make him captain was less about Pulisic not having something like we talked about potentially, and just more about Adams being that guy. He is just so clearly that guy for the team. He is the captain. And, Pulisic, I think, has obviously shown a fair amount of those qualities in this tournament as well, but there's no
he's that man in the middle of the field, that man on the ball, that man in press conferences. He has been the man for sure.
That heat map must just be the entire freaking map is covered. I have not seen one for this game, but the passing maps around him in the midfield all tournament have just been hilarious. He's just been a black hole, and as we've said, he has been making himself money this tournament, and beyond that, he's now, I think, asserting himself as a star around the world, even. Because
Leeds is going to make some money, man.
Because if all goes well for America, then things are going well for the world, right, guys?
That's right.
Is Leeds going to want to give him up? Are they going to have to just be overwhelmed with cash? We'll see.
Yes.
Can they afford him?
So yes,
the reality is Leeds is going to be fighting off relegation all year, and will most likely need They're currently 15th in the Premier League table, but they're 2 points out of the relegation zone. So they're going to need to raise funds at some point, either to reinvest in the squad for next year to be more competitive, or they're going to get bounced out of the Champo and they're going to need to sell off assets.
I'm sorry. I just realized in the middle of that sentence that all these leagues are in the middle of a season. Like we forget how ridiculous this World Cup is being in December. And yeah, I forget that they all go back and they're all just mid-season. That's just crazy.
It's weird rooting against certain teams because the club team that you follow like has those players. Like I'm strongly rooting against Uruguay so that Rodrigo Bentancur can go back to Spurs as quickly as possible and not like get hurt playing in a stupid World Cup in a desolate country.
So, okay, let's go back to the game today. Cameron
Yes,
Carter's
this is about
Vickers
America
starts
today.
in the back. What did you guys think of that?
Yeah, CCV getting the starts. That was a surprise. I think he filled in admirably. There were a few really good moments. He's always just kind of he's not necessarily great. He's always just kind of had that quality where he's really hard to beat. He's just fast enough. He's really difficult to get around the corner, and I saw a couple examples of that exact play today. Yeah, he filled in great, and then damn, Walker Zimmerman coming in off the bench had like 37 headers, 37 clearances. He was everywhere. He had the big clearance right off the line, stopped my heart. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and so I did want to talk about the defense. We're kind of starting to talk about how stingy they are. 1 goal the whole tournament, and it wasn't even from open play. But it doesn't feel like that entirely, right? Like I know they're playing well. Zimmerman's looked good. Tim Ream has been playing really well. We talked about last podcast. But man, it just still seems like all of the chances have been there and that we've maybe been fortunate to not have given up a goal from open play.
Well, and Matt Turner's been there as well. Can't I mention the defense without him? He's made some nice saves.
I don't know that I can agree with that though, Cody. I mean, we allowed Wales we gave a penalty kick up, and I mean clear as day penalty, but Wales was not super dangerous moving forward. They looked better in the second half than the first, but it's not like they had a lot of great chances. England, we just stifled for the vast majority of the game until Jack Grealish came on. And they had some looks towards the end, but they weren't carving us up left and right and just weren't clinical enough to put something on the board. Yeah. And then with Iran today, I mean, we got lucky that one went through Matt Turner's legs and very slowly rolled towards the goal and was cleared. But it's not like Iran had a ton of great chances.
No, they didn't necessarily have a ton of great chances, but one thing that was just excruciating to watch as an American fan was they got every single inch out of every opportunity. Like I'm thinking of the one set piece they had with a guy went low, kind of a diving header around Tyler Adams. It went just wide of the post. And that ball just had no business getting that close to going in. Adams played great defense, was right there to break it up, to break it up. But they just seemed to get every inch out of everything. Every roll, in the attacking end seemed to kind of go their way. And yeah, that was excruciating. I've always thought people were making it up when they would say they were nauseous in like nervous situations like this. And I genuinely felt it today. The last 20 minutes, because there was 9 of stoppage time, I genuinely felt sick. I was on my hands and knees watching the game at a certain point.
Dad, you've been quiet. What do you think of the defense?
Oh, I think overall they've been really good. And as much crap as everybody gives Berhalter, I think and even I did with the roster, Cameron Carter-Vickers was a inspired choice, just to throw back a word we used in one of the previous podcasts, because he is used to playing teams that will bunker because he plays for Celtic and they're the dominant team in that league and everybody they play bunkers against him. So he had a little bit of experience with that and he had all the other tools. Maybe he's not the best at any of those tools, but he had all the other tools to do what he needed to do. So he had some experience at being out there and ready for a bunkering team to try to counter. So I think it was a really good choice on Berhalter's part. I'm not agreeing with some of the other choices he made, but
yeah, let's talk about Berhalter at least briefly here. My question is he nailing this or is the team advancing in spite of him?
That's a tough question to answer.
There are plenty of decisions that he's made that have paid off. I think like the Tim Ream one, just bringing Tim Ream has been, a revelation, and the systems that he's put out against each of these three teams have worked, at least in the Wales that worked for 45 minutes. And so, yeah, some of these decisions he's making are paying off. But then at the same time, where the hell is Gio Reyna?
Boom. Man, that
Well,
shook the.
so I'm more surprised by Shaq Moore getting subbed in over Yedlin.
Yeah.
A couple of times now.
Yeah, especially given that Shaq Moore has not looked good any of the times he's been on the field, in my opinion.
Yeah, I wanted Des to come off because he's on the yellow and we would need him for the next game. But I was definitely expecting Yedlin after seeing Shaq's first performance.
But so, the Aronson being the first sub in the midfield off the bench has been great. Brendan Aronson's looked really good. Kellen Acosta, I mean, is probably the best guy to sub into that role as a box to box kind of a six. By and large, the subs have been pretty good.
I just wish they would be a little earlier.
It's like watching a Sporting KC game.
Yes.
Well, I've been sitting here wanting to say that about a lot of things, that we've talked about today. It doesn't seem to be like watching a good Sporting Kansas City team.
Dominating, but can't score a goal. Yeah, I know.
Minus Willie Agata.
Speaking of scoring goals, we should talk about Christian Pulisic. Scored the most Christian Pulisic goal I have ever seen. And the tragedy there is that is like the biggest moment of his life, and he didn't even get to celebrate it. He was just on the ground writhing in pain. He is day to day at the moment. The official word from U.S. Soccer has come out, quote unquote, day to day.
But did you see his focus, though? As he was going down, he made sure the ball was in the back of the net.
Yes, and then covered his face.
Yeah.
It takes a second to hit when the adrenaline's running.
Cody, tell the people what the injury actually is.
Oh, of course.
Because I want you to say it, so I don't have to.
I minimize this.
I'll do it. It's a pelvic contusion.
What was going to be so difficult about that?
I thought they had called it something different, and I wasn't saying it was going to be difficult. I just forgot what they had said clearly. Pelvic contusion. And I'm looking. I know everyone wants to make the balls jokes that those are America's balls now, but I watched the replay and it definitely just hits him like right in the belly or like right in the diaphragm, I guess, maybe even almost. But
it's not the pelvis. That's a different part of the body.
Yeah,
I would say it could be the upper part of the pelvic bone, and because it was pelvic contusion, it used to be called like a hip pointer, also. So I think it's possibly that area.
So what do we think about Sargent up top?
Well, I went back and forth on that. In the first half, I was just thinking, all right, second game, we've seen him and he's just not doing it for me. I wanted to see Jesus out there or Haji Wright, which, my God, how bad did that turn out? But anyway, Sargent, before we get to that, Sargent, I think played okay as the game went on. In the first half, while being frustrated with him, I think I was ignoring a couple moments of hold up play where he, did at least that job. Yeah. And then I think that continued even further into the second half. He did it a few times, and then on the play he got hurt. That was a great turn and was about to be a dangerous moment there for them. And honestly, what he did in stepping on the ball like that used to be my nightmare while playing soccer. I used to think about that a lot. I saw a kid do it once and I was always terrified of doing it. So that hurt, especially to see the ginger go down right there.
I thought he'd actually been doing pretty well as in the first half, but it was as it went on, I think he wore down. That's why I think some of those guys should have been subbed a little bit earlier. But yeah, that injury kind of hurts. We'll see how he's really doing though.
They all wear down. They're all getting tired. I know,
except Tyler Adams.
Well, you can see Berhalter's strategy, right? Bring Reyna and bring Jesus in against Netherlands. They won't know it's going to hit him.
Now, I actually think there's a chance that Reyna does get playing time against the Netherlands because Pulisic, if he can play, he'll play. but there's a real question as to whether or not he starts or he's a sub off the bench, right? The drop off between Pulisic to Aronson isn't so drastic that you lose that much. I mean, I would consider probably starting Aronson and seeing if Pulisic has 20 minutes in his legs with the injury. Because you don't really want to sub out Pulisic at half or have him trying to manage himself in a game where he's going to have to go as all out as he possibly can.
Yeah.
If he's not able to play, then it's probably Aronson with Rain off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, if Pulisic's not 100%, I would say bring him off the bench, right?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, that seems like the better fit there.
Yeah, I think psychologically, I think David, maybe you're alluding to it, having your not your captain, but your big marquee guy go off at halftime is kind of a letdown in a sense. Bringing him on 20 minutes left for a, injection of something is a much different situation.
Aronson did well today, though. Again, got his normal. I guess he got a longer shift, I guess, in replacement there. He is still that very dangerous one, but he hasn't had the final touch. And I kept thinking that about the whole team until that goal was scored, that it's just a reminder they're still so young. And each of those moments with the ball at their feet and they can see the goal, it's just the biggest moment of their lives. And a lot of balls over the crossbar. And I just kept thinking that the whole time, like they need to get lucky. A ball needs to bounce off somebody and go into the net, and then the pressure can be off, and then they can just have fun the rest of the tournament. But yeah, it's a reminder that they're just so young, all of them. Yunus Musa, 20 today. How crazy is that?
He needed to score.
Good. He looked good though.
He did. And I don't understand. We've talked about this whole tournament. He's tired in the 60th minute every game, but he just kept going. He was an absolute beast. The whole midfield, we're very lucky to have that midfield right now.
And going back to your point about in front of goal, way ahead that chance, 33rd minute, I think it was, and he hit it hard, but you got to get it on frame. It's just that composure in front of goal we don't seem to have. There were a couple of balls or a couple of touches. We tried to dribble, and they were just long touches, went out of bounds or went to the defender. Yeah, it was frustrating for sure. But, imagine how good they can be once those little things are cleaned up.
I know you just mentioned Weah missing one, and that was a bad miss. But if I look at this team, I think that there are three guys that I think have that quality, that bite, whatever it is for that final touch. And I would say it's Pulisic, Weah, and the elusive Gio Reyna. and then I think Dest and McKinney are both capable of scoring a stunner, coming up with a surprise. McKinney has been also showing the inexperience, I think, as well. He's had a few moments that I think he should have done a lot better with.
So, I mean, you mentioned Dash, and we already talked about the defense, but his defensive liabilities haven't really shown up a whole lot this World Cup. He's been pretty solid, I think.
Yeah, he was great today. This was the best I have ever seen Serginho Dest.
It's because he's getting to play.
Yeah.
And he cares. It'll be really interesting in the next game because he's going up against his home country.
Right. That will be some storylines this week for sure. I'm glad to see that he didn't get the yellow so that he can do it. And again, I'm not a betting man, but I would be putting money on him to score a goal that game. It seems like destiny. Yeah. Guys. It seems like destiny.
Stop.
Hey, he cut in on his left foot in the first half, and it looked like he's going to hit one of those bangers, but he had, I think, it reached for it off. He's off balance. I think the defender gave him a little shove, but yeah, I was looking for glory there for sure.
So I know this is America's Day, and we should all be happy the entire time, but we have to talk about Haji Wright. That was just absolutely pitiful all around. Like that in the 99th minute. I don't know why I'm still like angry about it. So I'm jumping right into it instead of talking more about him. But that 99th minute when he just took that whack at the ball and it was the weakest shot in the world. And had he just taken it to the corner, the game would have been over. And at least and he gave them another chance to loop the ball down the field. And I swear to God, my heart stopped. It was the worst moment of this World Cup. Oh my gosh.
There's that youth again, striking again.
It was like when you're driving too fast and you think you see a cop or you saw a cop and your legs like kind of freeze up. You can't feel your legs for a second. That was exactly what happened to me. But yeah, there were so many moments that like he was brought on to run, and he wasn't even doing that. Like it's let alone like what he did when he was getting the ball. He was just out there jogging around. Like, man, cover some ground, use your body. I was so disappointed in that performance. And I'm even the one that was like, I was at the beginning of this tournament saying I was happy that he was going to be there.
Yeah, you almost wish they'd have brought in anybody else at that point, you know?
Jesus.
Yeah. Gio.
Would you have preferred Jordan Morris?
Forgot Gio existed.
You know, actually, with the way Haji played, yes. In most cases, I would say no.
Valid point there.
That's I'm usually against any sounder stepping in there, but I would preferred Roldan in there. Just the way I was not happy with how he played.
So what do you think the deal is with Jesus? I mean, coming in, we all, or most people thought he was probably the incumbent, you know, the guy that was going to start. But he hasn't played a minute. What do you guys think's going on there?
I just think that those people were not understanding where Gregg's head was at.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Ferrer is a very good player, and he's going to get transferred this offseason, I'm sure, for $10 million or something. But Sargent plays, you know, consistently for Norwich,
Right.
and has been in the Premier League or the Championship, which is equal to, arguably better than MLS.
Mm-hmm.
Haji Wright plays in the Turkish league, which is probably not really any better. But he's scoring a lot of goals and playing, you know, European competition. I think the reason that Sargent has started, though, is more big games and big moments against better opposition.
Did you just allege that the Turkish Superliga is on the same level of MLS or the Championship?
I don't think that's I don't think that's what I said.
Yeah,
but
actually it is. Yeah, no.
That is.
Okay.
We
Okay.
need the court reporter to read that back to us, but
Go for it. I mean, I'd certainly say that the Turkish Super League has a few teams that would win MLS Cup most years.
He low-key corrected me there. Did you hear that? I said Liga, and he emphasized Lig there. at the
Yeah.
end. It is.
But, you know, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, there's a few other ones. Besiktas, some of these I'm not even going to try to pronounce. But I mean, like, there's like 3 or 4 teams in that league that compete in the Champions League every year.
No, okay.
Right.
It's not every year though. It's that league is given 2 spots or 1 spot, and then the qualification spot wins. And so you see those 2 teams a lot. I'm sure there are 3 good teams in that league, but no, MLS is well beyond the Turkish Super League.
But like, is it though?
Yes.
And that's why Kyle Larin left MLS to go there?
more money.
Money.
Interesting.
Although, in fairness, I've heard other people make that same comparison, that the Turkish league, and I don't really give a crap if you try to correct my pronunciation of any of it. I've heard that comparison too, that they're on par or better than MLS because of that top 4 or 5 teams.
There's no American slander today on this podcast. This is America's Day, and we need to be happy about the quality of Major League Soccer.
Well,
Hey,
if we're celebrating America, Cody, where's your Bud Light and your gun and your bald eagle?
I am sporting my Beasler Bomb Pop. It is too small and it's losing its color on the back. I can't wash it anymore because Beasler will fully be disappeared from the back of it. But it might be
just like sporting.
as he was sporting.
This episode is brought to you by Google Pixel, the official fan phone of the NBA and WNBA. The new Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro are built different. How? Take the Audio Magic Eraser tool. It helps block out distracting crowd noise so your play-by-play commentary sounds crystal clear. The only phone engineered by Google brings out the audio you care about so your videos sound as crisp as they look. Learn more at googlestore.com/pixelnba. Audio Magic Eraser requires Google Photos app. May not work on all audio elements.
Introducing Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Icon of the Seas, the ultimate family vacation. The ultimate 6 slides, 8 neighborhoods, 0 compromise vacation. The ultimate never done that, can't wait to do it vacation. The ultimate chillin' by a different pool every day of the week vacation. This is the Icon of Vacations. Icon of the Seas, arriving in 2024. Book today. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
So can we expand things a little bit? CONCACAF. Okay, so is Mexico still have a chance to go through, or are they out? I forgot.
They have a chance.
They have a
They have
chance,
a chance.
but they're going to blow it against Saudi Arabia tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about it.
Canada, I tell you what, I mean, we'll talk about them real quick if that's okay. They've got some pieces, but overall, they're just not there yet.
It's America's Day.
So,
America's Day.
Hey, it's part of America's Day criticizing Canada
There you
and
go.
Mexico and Costa Rica and CONCACAF. It is part of America tradition, giving all them countries crap and laughing at them. Canada, ha ha ha.
So
Let's be fair to Canada. Canada looked really good against Belgium, and then looked really bad against Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
But the Canadian team, the problem for Canada is they're in a weird transitional phase with their roster where they've got some very old pieces who, this is their last run for sure. And then they've got some really young guys who are right in their prime. Jonathan David's a stud. Kyle Laren's great. Obviously, Alphonso Davies is really good. And if he converts that PK, then, maybe we're talking about Canada still being alive in the tournament,
right?
After getting a result against Belgium, who's ranked, second in the world, third in the world, something like that.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, eh? This is America's Day. Hey, that right? I didn't mean for this.
Plus, they might have done better against Croatia if they had not had a coach that let something get out that he said. So,
Right.
And Croatia was a little extra motivated.
Okay, well now they can go home.
Effed them up, didn't they?
Now they can go home and drink their maple syrup. Saturday versus the Netherlands.
Thank God I'm off work.
Oh my God, I know. I'm just happy for the sake of soccer in this country that it is a day where people are not working at 1 p.m. Actually, what time is the game? Is it another 1 p.m.?
9
a.m.
Oh, it's
9 a.m.
Okay, all right. I can get down with that.
So I'm gonna get up, make a big breakfast, sit down and watch it on the couch, man.
There you go. Okay, so quick question. Can I throw out a quick question?
Yes.
One of the theories is that the better teams in this tournament are getting better as the tournament goes, and that's pretty much the same for every World Cup. Do we think the U.S. has gotten better game by game, or is it hard to tell since we played Iran today?
Yes, as one of the better teams in the tournament, the U.S. is really rounding into form here. No,
we scored.
That's something.
Yeah, they scored a goal. That is good. I think we did at least see our boys grow up today. This just getting through this game, getting the points, surviving that, getting through this group stage is going to do wonders in 2026.
Yeah, but see, I think that foundation's been laid over the last couple of years, and again, we can give Berhalter a lot of crap for some of the decisions he made, but the Gold Cup, the Nations League, where the U.S. pulled out wins against Mexico in the finals. I know that's not Belgium or Netherlands or any of that level, but it still was growing pains. And then with the Gold Cup and the Nations League, really doing it with 2 different rosters, so more people got experience that he would have people to call for. I know that's, again, different level than World Cup playing against those top teams, but it's stepping stones for these guys. And, some of them have played in Champions Leagues and all this other stuff, but it still is a different thing. I think they've grown up in each game. I mean, each game, I think they would play really well in a half and then terrible in another half. You can, that may not be the exact percentage, but it's been, in my opinion, that's how it's kind of went. They played really well, they play not so well, or they not play well, they play really well. And that was even in CONCACAF games. This team needs to still grow up. It needs to have the Tyler Adams, which is a good leader, and McKinney and these other guys sometimes need to grab guys and say, get your ass in gear. And sometimes they need to do it to themselves.
You
I
mentioned
think also with regards to how teams are playing the World Cup, every World Cup kind of plays out the same, which is that teams are very nervous to get beat. The teams start very conservative, and if you can get a result in your first game, then you can play more open and more free. But England played it very conservatively against the United States because they needed the result. Whereas today they could play free and open because they were going to advance no matter what. And so um, I'm not sure that that other teams are really improving that much. Watching some of these other games, it's just kind of a mixed bag. Watching like Spain put 7 up against Costa Rica, and then I mean they arguably should have lost to Germany.
Stop trying to talk about other teams. This is America's day.
Can we talk about the Dutch?
Thad, you mentioned the foundation that they've been building over the last few years. Yeah, that is foundation is right. But this was at the World Cup. They went toe to toe with England and got a draw and beat a tough Iran team facing elimination. That they did grow up today. Like that's not foundation anymore. When you do it at the World Cup, 2 games in a row like that, that is they're working on the upper floors to just beat that analogy into the ground. It's beyond foundation what they're doing now, and yeah, and they've grown up, and now it's like, yes, we've been here before, and I think everything else from here on out should be less daunting to these young guys.
But in 4 years, we still need that striker. We're going to need him, whoever he is.
Very true.
I think there's a lot of countries that are saying that, though.
Yeah.
I was listening to a debate about that on Sirius Satellite Radio like last week, and it's like, who has that striker? And they were running down the list of teams, and like a few of them had that very defined, here's our striker. And they, like half the teams don't have the guy that they just is the go-to. They know he's the number 9. He's the go-to number 9. So everybody's struggling at that.
Yeah.
Well, we need a number 9 that makes our wing players even more effective. Is what we need. We don't necessarily need a 9 that's going to bang in a bunch of
Kyrie
goals.
Shelton.
Stop.
Yeah.
This is America's Day. Stop it.
No. I think the difference there, though, is that the U.S. is creating the chances. And like I said, now that they've grown up, maybe they don't feel as young anymore. Maybe the monkey is off their back a little bit. And that I think they can score goals like that. And you talked about, getting a striker. Of course, we would definitely want a striker. We need someone there that is more clinical at the moment. But also just the system that Berhalter is playing here, I think is just destined to eat strikers alive. Like the way the buildup works, the way they move the ball around the wings, it just, and just the kind of players that are on the wings there and in the midfield, it just isn't suited to, help a striker get his first goal, like that kind of thing. It's not suited around the striker by any means.
Yeah, I know it's different, but can we make that SKC analogy again? You could say the same thing about Sporting Kansas City until Willie Agata showed up this season too.
Can we give him American citizenship?
And what was our XG today, by the way? Does anybody know, David?
1.29, I think, something like that.
1.29. Is that good enough?
He just threw that to David to make David do that.
Sorry, I've been on mute because my kids came into the room and were playing with their fake lawnmower.
That I like that you came in support there with just a guess.
Thad's got it.
Actually, it wasn't a guess. It was I'd looked at it earlier, but it was 1.18.
Okay. Is that good enough against a team like Iran in this situation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Iran playing for a draw.
Iran playing.
Line.
They're a bunker and counter team anyway.
Yeah.
Playing for a draw to advance. And let's not sleep on them. Like they're the best team in Asia. Like they're the best team in the Confederation, and they're no slouches.
Yeah.
I do wonder with them how much internal strife at home plays into perhaps not playing as well. Sometimes it motivates you, sometimes it doesn't. But just I know with like some of them have supposedly been threatened that their families would be potentially in danger if they didn't sing the national anthem, very vociferously on TV and things like that. So sometimes you got to wonder how much that comes into play. I'm still like, hey, US beat them, so kick ass on the evil regime there. But the players themselves may not be supportive of that. They just want to play.
Did we talk about the press conference, by the way? The pre-match press conference?
Yeah.
Where, Cody, did you see this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we talked about it a little bit earlier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just love that they're just hammering Gregg Berhalter and Tyler Adams with questions from the Iranian press. And Berhalter's answer of like, "Hey man, I'm a soccer coach. I don't know anything about international politics," was a nice way to deflect.
Yeah, they asked him about like having, Navy ships in the Persian Gulf, and I wish he would have said, "I decide who plays the six. I don't decide who plays the aircraft carrier."
Looking ahead to the game on Saturday again, I was admittedly score watching a little bit with Wales and England tied 0-0 at half. And I was trying to decide which team I would rather play. And it was honestly almost a toss up for me at one point, just with Senegal having Mendy in goal and the way our team can't score goals. It just seems like Mendy would look like an actual brick wall to our guys. And then there's also the aspect that we've talked about before against England of the Americans just like being an underdog.
Yep.
And they are an early underdog against the Netherlands here. At first I thought they didn't look good at all, and I wasn't very scared of them. But they do have a Cody, by the way, leading the way. Cody Gapgo is tied for the lead of the Golden Boot.
That's a fine.
Oh, I messed it up.
It's okay.
You mispronounced Cody?
The Dutch are hard. The Dutch have hard names to pronounce.
Wait, what is it?
Gakpo.
Oh, I was literally just spelled it. It wasn't a pronunciation. I literally just had the wrong name. Like I was spelling it wrong. Anyway, Cody is the important part of that. But yeah, that's another player that has made some money for himself. And listening to Jesse Marsh on Men in Blazers, he said that was one player that he was already looking at to bring to Leeds, and now he's probably way more expensive than Leeds can handle there. But yeah, the underdog aspect, that's something I'm feeling that makes me feel very good going into this. They're not the same Netherlands that everyone has been afraid of in the past. Still some big names on there. Memphis Depay is one to watch out for, obviously. But
Cody.
And Cody, of course. I'm feeling very good going into this one. Thad, don't bring me down. Are you feeling confident still?
I don't know if confident, but I feel like they can win that game. I mean, that's all you're asking for at this point, is that you have a chance to win those games in the knockout rounds. So Netherlands might overlook them. They may not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. The confidence that the U.S. team has is what really matters at this point, is that they go out there and put out a good game plan. They execute it, and they shut down the couple guys who score goals and find a goal on the other end. And it's not like they're a bunker and trash team. U.S. has actually been playing nice. They've looked really nice at times, playing beautiful ball, just not the finish part.
Robert, are they going to win?
Yeah, I mean, I think that number one, the U.S. will be in the game. Okay, number two, I think we're due for that offensive burst, right? We're going to wake up America 9 a.m. Saturday morning. We're going to literally wake them up, and we're ready for a multiple goal game. Let's go for it.
That's how I feel. The monkey is off their back after this one. That was the goal, was to get out of this rather tough group. They've done it. They're the underdogs going into this. The pressure is not on them the same way it has been. I feel like they can relax and really have some fun. And I'm eager, man. I feel very good about this.
Hey, FIFA ranking wise, wasn't our group the highest average or best average out of all the groups?
The quote unquote group of death.
Yeah.
But nobody.
I think they called other groups a group of death, even though we had the one that had the highest overall ratings. But
yeah,
because nobody was respecting Iran.
All right. So I know in one of our previous ones, we talked about what did the U.S. need to accomplish to consider this World Cup a success? I said, even, playing well and doing good in the group and, all that, and getting that building for the future. Are they a success now because they've made it to the knockout rounds?
For me, yeah. But we have these like snotty, casual American soccer fans that unless they win the World Cup, it's a failure. But yeah, I mean, just the way this is shaken out, we're playing the Netherlands. I don't know how you could say losing to the Netherlands in the round of 16 is a disappointment unless you're a World Cup favorite. You know what I mean?
Well, here's what we've avoided. Oh, the U.S. is hosting along with Canada and Mexico. They didn't even make it through their group last World Cup. Psh. Yeah, we've avoided that. Mexico and Canada. Canada obviously not. Mexico still may not avoid that. So at least we have.
Man, that is not on the list of things I was hoping to avoid. That is at the very bottom of it. It's really just like I alluded to, the casual sports fans that just
Yeah.
to love to hate on soccer. That is when I get really nervous, honestly, sometimes I think that's what I'm the most nervous about, is that I have to respond to these people.
Hey, I
No,
think
you
before
don't.
we go, and I don't know how soon we are close to ending this, but the podcast we did with Diego and Jenna Gutierrez this morning really got some good stuff in it. It's a short and sweet podcast, but it's got some good content. So check that out, guys. If listeners, if you haven't checked it out yet.
We're never ending this podcast because that is going on forever. This is America's Day.
You don't want to end ones like this, man, just because you don't always have a moment to just be happy for the US, you know?
And while we were kind of waiting for a guest to arrive that maybe never arrived, but anyway, it's
Cody-
America's Day.
Cody, can you splice in some quotes from Austin Powers and like just some drops from Austin Powers into this?
I have already seen that meme all over Twitter. The Nigel Powers saying, "There are only two things in this world that I hate: people who are intolerant of other people's culture, and the Dutch."
We're the red and the white and the blue, and we're coming for you. We'll take on the world and we'll take you too. So stay standing tall, proud and true. We're the loud and the proud. 90 minutes rowdy in the crowd. The Yanks are here and we ain't going nowhere. So stand up and fight if you dare. Over there, send the word over there. And the Yanks are coming, the drums rolling everywhere. So prepare, say a prayer, send the word to beware. We'll be over, coming over, and we won't come back till it's over there. We're the red and the white and the blue, and we're coming for you. We'll take on the world and we'll take you too. So stay standing tall, proud and true. Yeah, we're the